Is that time again where I clicked play on a bunch of dramas, and this is my first impressions of all of them. If you are new here and you've never watched a video of this sort on my channel, this is where I collect the dramas I clicked play on in the last couple weeks and give you a little introduction to the dramas in case you've never heard of them. My first impressions on what I thought of the first episode, only the first episode, and then I will let you know if I plan to continue watching it or not. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 4 dramas that I have started in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Some are new, like they're brand new premiered, and some are older dramas that I just started and I've never seen before, but you guys have probably heard of them. These are in no particular order, and I'm not gonna like give a rating or anything, but that's what we're gonna do. There is definitely some other dramas I've started beyond the 4 I'm gonna talk about. So if you want my first impressions of those, please let me know if you want another first impressions video, and I will definitely give that to you. Here we go. The first drama I would talk about is probably one that a lot of people have heard of already. I have been wanting to watch this drama for years, ever since it came out, and I just click play on it now. I'll let you know right now, I should have watched this a long time ago. And that is the Chinese drama Mysterious Lotus Casebook. If you have no idea what this drama is, short synopsis is it stars Cheng Yi, who is the main character, and then Joseph Zhang is the second male lead, I would say. It's a trio of male actors. The third male actor that is probably going to be somewhat prominent in the cast is Xiao Shun Yao. I apologize if I am mispronouncing any of those names. Chen Yi's character, 10 years prior to when the drama started, is this really powerful martial arts person in this wuxia world. And he has a rival played by Xiao Shun Yao, and they have this epic battle, and they end up really injuring each other in the battle. Cheng Yi's character kind of uses the opportunity to walk away from it all, and he becomes this wandering doctor. And then Xiao Shun Yao's character disappears, and no one knows what happened to him. And so we meet Cheng Yi's character 10 years after the battle, something like that. Long time after battle, he's this wandering doctor, and all he wants to do is like avoid the wuxia fighting world, and it just basically won't leave him alone. And he's living under another identity, so no one knows that he's like this powerful, really smart, really clever martial arts person. And he meets Joseph Zhang's character, who really wants to be like a detective of this sect, and he's out to prove himself. And he meets Cheng Yi's character, and he's arrogant, but like in a funny, arrogant way. I don't find him annoying or anything. Chen Yi definitely does. I can see that they're going to have a bromance coming on. So it's about them meeting, and essentially my assumption is they're going to be traveling together and solving cases and helping each other out, and then eventually meeting this third guy and making a trio of it. Xiao Shun Yao is going to come into the picture, and they're going to be investigating stuff in the wuxia world. That's my synopsis. As you can see, I haven't really watched much of this. So first impressions of this. First off, that epic opening fight scene that we get, the epic fight scene that they were doing 10 years prior to when the drama started, was great. It was like you click play and you're like, oh, this is what we're going to get? Cool, I'm down for that. Really great opening fight scene. It was done in the water and on a boat. You can tell they were at their top form fighting game when they were going against each other, and obviously rivals. I love Cheng Yi's character in this. I love his attitude because he's arrogant, but you can tell that he is not smug about it. Like, he knows he's smart, he knows he's clever, he's arrogant, definitely, but my best description is he's like a fox. He's a trickster in a way, but he also knows he's smart, and he also knows he can pull it off. And I just love that attitude of him a lot because it makes his character fun to watch. Also, the running joke in Chinese dramas, obviously, is Cheng Yi gets stabbed a lot in his dramas. He, of course, gets stabbed again in this due to the epic fight scene. He gets stabbed again in this drama. So I just had to laugh at that because within the first 5 minutes, he's stabbed and like spitting blood and everything. detective guy, Joseph Zhang, he's funny. He's going to be hilarious. I can tell he's going to be really funny. And there's going to be a lot of laughter with this, which I already laughed in the first episode, which is a good sign from me. I think he's going to have a good dynamic with Cheng Yi's character because Cheng Yi is sly and clever and smart and just wants to be left alone. And Joseph Zhang is going to be that annoying brother who's not going to leave him alone. But you can tell he really cares for the people that is going to be his friends and in his inner circle. And I can see a beautiful bromance coming from that. And I'm going to be really curious when the third guy pops up and see how that affects the bromance in a way. And I can already tell that Cheng Yi's character is having a little fun with Joseph Zhang's character and like stringing him along and just kind of having a little fun with it, which is why I say he's a little bit of a fox. Like he just reminds me of a fox with his attitude. So that was my first impressions of the first episode. I'm definitely going to continue watching this. I had a lot of fun with the first episode, more than I thought I would, because I thought it would just be a lot of world building and setting up everything, but I definitely liked the first episode, so I am definitely continuing with this drama for sure. That was Mysterious Lotus Casebook. Next, we're going to talk about Coroner's Diary. I've been looking forward to Coroner's Diary ever since it was announced. I like Landy Lee a lot. I will say I've never seen Ao Peng in a drama, so I really have no opinion of him after this drama. I hope I will. But Landy Lee was definitely a draw for me to click play on this. If you have no idea what this Chinese drama is, Landy Lee is Shen Wei. That's her name. She's a daughter of this high-ranking official, and within like the first 5 minutes of the episode, you see her entire family massacred, and she is witness to that and somehow escapes. She escapes, and she learns medicine and also how to become a coroner. And she grows up and learns all those skills and decides that she's now going to enter back into the capital under another identity and investigate what happened to her family and why her family was massacred. Along the way, she is a coroner, and she also, due to her medical skills, saves people at the same time. She teams up with Ao Peng, who is a crown prince, I want to say. And he, for some reason, is also investigating things. So they team up in the capital and they start investigating, I'm assuming is going to start investigating cases, eventually probably leading to her family and whatever he's investigating about her family. That's pretty much what I got and what MTL is sort of saying. My first impressions of Coroner's Diary, the chemistry is really good. There was this one scene in the first episode where Ao Peng and Landy Lee got really close due to him trying to fight his cousin. It was great. I loved it. You can tell the chemistry is going to be good in this one. It was surprisingly very fast-paced for a first episode. I was not expecting that. In the first 5 minutes, you see what happened to her family. And then kind of the conclusion of that, of how she escaped. I was not expecting that. I thought that would be a little more drawn out, but it was refreshing at the same time. It kind of just got to the point. Love the leads, not only their chemistry, but like them themselves. Landy Lee is going to be a lot of fun. And Ao Peng, he didn't have as much screen time as episode 1 as Landy Lee did, because I think it was setting up her story a lot, but I think he's going to have a good dynamic with her, and it's going to be interesting to see his story unfold and see why he's investigating certain things and asking certain questions. They definitely butt heads in the first episode, but I wouldn't say either one have an outright hatred for each other. I think they just don't know each other very well yet. So their banter is going to be quite nice as well. He has a cousin played by Shen Yuji. She's a princess. I love her. She had this scene in the first episode where she got on top of a carriage, and it was just a lot of fun. I really like her character already. I really want her to have a second lead romance. Really bad, even on the first episode. This is rare for me, guys. I usually just pay attention to the first couple, and yes, I care about supporting character, but this is fast for me. I hope she has a good storyline. I also was not expecting the end of episode 1. Like, I knew death was coming, but how it happened, I was not expecting. So that was a nice surprise for me. And I love coroner dramas. I love historical coroner dramas. So this drama is right up my alley. I'm not surprised that I'm liking it so much. So that was my first impressions of the first episode of Coroner's Diary. I of course, am going to be continuing this drama, and I can't wait to watch more. Medical Examiner Dr. Qin, the Mind Reader, is the next drama I am going to give first impressions on. If you can't tell from my other videos or podcast episodes, I am trying to watch all of the Medical Examiner shows, and I have 2 dramas left and 2 movies. So this is the next in the series I am watching. This is Medical Examiner Qin, Dr. Qin, the Mind Reader. It stars Gala Zhang and Tan Min, and then the third guy is Pen Shu Yu. Those are like the trio of people. Gala Zhang plays Qin Min, Tan Min plays a female coroner, and then Pen Shu Yu is the cop. He plays Lin Tao. If you guys have no idea what Medical Examiner Dr. Qin is, it is a somewhat famous coroner series that China has been making dramas from for years now, since like 2016. So there's been multiple dramas made from 2016, 2017 from this book series. I'm attempting to watch all of them. Anyway, this is my first impression of Medical Examiner Dr. Qin, the Mind Reader. This is sort of a prequel. All of the other dramas that were in this series have taken place when he is an adult, like more of an adult, and in the profession and have been working for a while. This one, he's straight out of school, like brand new, has never worked as a coroner before, only has been a student. So in this one, he goes to his mother's hometown to investigate his mom's death, straight out of school. And he finds himself wrapped up in a different case when he gets there. And he is now working to investigate his mother's death, but also this other case. And so he's his normal self. Like in Kinman, the character doesn't like socializing with people. Then this drama version has like up the ante. He really is kind of a germaphobe, which is sort of new. You can see it in the original 2016 drama, but this is hyped up a bit. He is a fairly new coroner, just out of school. He meets Lin Tao on the way to his mom's hometown. And Lin Tao is also a fairly new cop. And then he meets the coroner in his mother's hometown, who is Tan Min's character. I don't know from first episode like how long she's been a coroner, but she's clearly been working in his mother's hometown for a while. And so basically they team up, I'm assuming, from the case that he encounters when he gets to the hometown, along with, I'm assuming, his mother's death eventually. My first impressions of the first episode. I like the chemistry between the cop and Kinman, the main character, played by Gala Zhang. I like their chemistry a lot more than the Survivor one that I watched prior to this. The female medical examiner played by Tan Min, I think she'll warm up to me. Right now, she seems a little stiff, and I can't tell if it's her acting style or if it's the character. But I've seen Tang Min in other dramas, and I've liked her as an actress. So her character and the way she's acting, her character is not a turnoff for me. But if I had to choose, she's my least favorite of the trio so far in episode 1. I love the medical examiner part of this drama because it being from 2022 versus 2016, they show a lot more. They get a little more technical. They have more technology, that type of thing. Myself, with that background of criminal justice background, I appreciate the medical examination part of this drama a lot more than previous series that I've seen. Lin Tao and Kinmin, their banter is so good, and it's the first episode. I like that a lot. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I really hope Tan Min's character warms up to me, and then they'll have really good banter. Just FYI, being a newer coroner drama, 2022, is more graphic than what you might find in 2016. Doesn't bother me, but I'm a crime drama person. Just FYI, if you want to check this one out, it will be graphic. It does show things. That's my first impressions. I will continue watching this. I definitely like the chemistry. The chemistry is the thing that is making me continue to watch this. I don't know enough about the story yet to really decide if that's something that I'm going to enjoy, but the chemistry is there. And I also like Gala Zhang a lot. He is a really good actor to me. And he picks interesting projects. So I really hope this pays off for me in terms of me liking it. And as I said, I like Tongmin, so I want to see her in another drama too. Last drama I'm going to talk about is the Korean drama Qin Mantis. Look, I've been looking forward to this drama for months. I learned about it in January during the award shows. I might be biased with this one. Jang Dun-yoon stars in this. He is one of my favorite Korean actors ever. So I might be a little biased, but I still had a lot to say about the first episode. We'll get into it. If you have never heard of Queen Mantis, this is a dark, dark crime drama, Korean crime drama. It's going to have 8 episodes. It's about a woman played by Go Hyun-jun. She is a serial killer and she is in prison. She's been in prison for like 20-something years. And she has a son played by Jang Dun-yoon. He is a cop. He's a police officer. And in the present day, a murder happens and it looks surprisingly like the ones that Go Hyun-jung's character did 20 years prior. So it might be a copycat killer. So the cops have to team up with her to figure out if this is a copycat or if she somehow is killing people again. Her son has to work with her and he absolutely hates her guts. Can't stand her. I watched the first episode. Gotta say right now, Go Hyun-jung's acting is fantastic, is great. She was standout performance in episode 1. I've seen her in dramas, but this is nothing like I've ever seen her in a drama, and I love it. I loved it. Her acting was so good in this. Jang Dun-yu did amazing acting too. All of the cast did, but she really stood out, in my opinion. Second, I'm so happy to see Jang Dun-yoon on screen again. I've missed him a lot. I don't think he's done a crime drama since Solomon's Perjury, which this is different in my opinion. Like Solomon Perjury was like a high school crime drama. He was a student investigating a student's death. This is a dark, dark, dark crime drama. And he's a cop, he's married, he plays more of like an adult, and I love it. This is a role that he's never really done before, and it's kind of refreshing, and sort of a new challenge for him, and I really like what he's done with the character in episode 1 so far. FYI, just in case you have not watched this yet, it is dark. It is dark, it is creepy. If you can't handle a dark, dark crime drama, this is not for you. Just saying. I loved it, but I like crime dramas. It's nothing new for me. What I thought was interesting and what I think is obviously going to be a story point is no one knows that he's her son except for maybe one person. So I'm sure that's going to blow up somewhere and that's going to be a thing and probably implode not only his professional life but personal life. So that's going to be interesting because his mother is psycho. His mother is insane. It's about to be really crazy though, because who knows if it's a copycat killer? Who knows if it's actually her? Who knows it's like a murder by proxy type thing? Who knows? I will say some of the things you kind of have to suspend your disbelief because in reality it wouldn't have happened in my opinion. She's been in prison for 20 years and she's a serial killer, somehow has all of these perks in prison, like drawing and music and all this stuff. And you can see she's very calculating and very smart and very manipulative. So I don't really see how she could have these perks in real life. Maybe she could, but I don't know. She's creepy either way, but you might have to suspend your belief a little bit, especially in the intro of this drama. There's just some things that didn't make sense. If you look at it from a logical perspective, some things don't make sense. And I have a really hard time not to overanalyze crime dramas, in my opinion. Because again, I watch a lot and it's my background, so I kind of just pick apart everything all at once. Needless to say, though, it's a great first episode, and I'm definitely continuing to watch more of this. I'm really curious about the story. It's about to be crazy. I hope I can't predict it. I really hope, because I don't want to be able to predict an answer, because then if I predict the answer, I'm going to be bored. First episode stuck the landing. I really hope it continues to do that. And I also can't believe this is only 8 episodes, which might be helpful. We'll have to wait and see. Needless to say, I also am continuing this, and I'm really looking forward to more episodes. I'm really curious how this is going to unfold, for sure. And that is all for dramas and my first impressions of the first episode. As you can see right now, I'm loving everything I'm watching, so I'm definitely going to have these on my current watch list. If you have watched any of these dramas, let me know what you thought of the drama. If you have anything that's like any of these dramas, give me some recommendations in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, have a conversation with me in the comments. I love when you guys leave comments. Let me know what you're watching, but those are my first impressions of these 4 dramas. What other first impressions do you want to hear from me? I definitely have started other dramas in the past week or so, so I can do another one. So let me know in the comments if that is something you'd want as well.